You have been referred to speech and language therapy with a chronic cough or throat clearing problem. You may have been referred by your GP, ENT or respiratory consultant. Your cough may be recent or you may have been coughing for years. A chronic cough is a dry, irritable cough which persists for longer than 8 weeks. Throat clearing is often in response to an irritation in the throat that doesn't clear. The main causes of cough include infection, such as chest infection, asthma, bronchiectasis, or postnasal drip, which is mucus dripping from the back of the nose into the throat, and reflux disease. You may already have been assessed and treated for some of these conditions and found that you still continue to cough. In voice therapy, we are most successful in helping you to manage the dry, tickly cough, the persistent throat clearing and hypersensitive throat. We will suggest various strategies and advice collectively termed cough control or cough suppression therapy, which should resolve the cough in 70% of cases. If your cough is productive, we would not advise cough control strategies. So, some education about the vocal tract before we go through some strategies. It is important to understand that the mucous membrane in our mouths and throats is coated with a natural lubricant. It is a wet system which attracts moisture. When healthy, it is like a coat of varnish that protects the tissues underneath and also forms part of our immune system. Have you ever noticed how your throat becomes dry when exposed to air conditioning on a flight or in your car or office? Or if you've had too many caffeinated drinks. You might also notice that you start throat clearing because the mucous membrane has dried out. When we cough, we force air out through our airway, and this also removes the natural lubricant and moisture from our throats and vocal cords. The body is unable to replace the moisture at the same rate that it is lost, so the mucus becomes thicker, which impacts on the functioning of the vocal tract. Repeated coughing also irritates the vocal folds, setting up an irritation cycle. Essentially, the more you cough, the more you feel you need to cough. People often report a feeling of something there, something that needs to be cleared, but it is just a sensation caused by irritation. So coughing can become cyclical and habitual. The same is true for throat clearing. There is no physiological benefit to continued dry coughing. Cough control comprises 2 main strategies, distraction and hydration. So with distraction, you are aiming to become fully aware of the coughing and throat clearing as a behaviour. Throat clearing in particular can be a very unconscious habit, so it is essential to really notice when you're doing this. It is important to notice even the little coughs and throat clears. Once you are fully aware of the extent of the coughing and throat clearing, you're ready to work with a sensation in your throat that primes you to cough, known as the urge to cough. So you're aiming to catch every cough before it happens and distract the throat from coughing. So in other words, give your throat something else to do instead. And distractions can range from swallowing, sipping water, tucking the chin down, then swallowing, blowing out through pursed lips, and sniffing through the nose and then blowing out. Maybe turning the head to the left or the right. It's important to persevere until the urge to cough settles. Cough control is challenging, especially at the beginning, but every time you manage to successfully catch and suppress the cough, you are reducing the irritation and sensitivity in your throat. The second strategy is hydration. Coughing and throat clearing really dries out the throat's mucous membrane and vocal folds. You are aiming to replace moisture lost through coughing, so you will need to develop a strict regime of sipping water, very frequent but short periods of steaming. We advise using a steamer, and the water needs to be very hot. Steam inhalations are the only way to get moisture into the airways. It can be very soothing and relaxing. Some people find that steaming can make them cough, so just try to build up gradually, perhaps with water that is not quite so hot. Through the use of these combined strategies, you're aiming to get back to a self-lubricating mucous membrane that is self-supporting, so you will no longer need to keep doing this. When you no longer feel the need to carry water or boiled sweets around with you, you know you are well on the way to cough resolution. A few other tips. Always have water to hand, in the car, by the phone, by your bed, and out and about. Try sucking on a frozen grape or a blueberry. Maybe having a fine water spray bottle by the bed can be easier to use at night time. And avoid smoky, dusty, dry atmospheres. Turn off the aircon in the car. Humidify rooms if they're very dry. Use a bowl of water or a damp towel on a radiator, open windows, and switch to decaf drinks. Steam after inhaler use or before eating if you have swallowing problems, and drink plenty of water on long flights.